So we're here in the Ballygawley Woods today, and we're right along the Sligo Way, and I'm delighted to be joined by Pat today, and he's here at this very ancient site. This is what archaeologists call a stone row, and it's thought that stone rows date to the Bronze Age, so we're talking about 4,000 years old, and really they consist of two stones or more, and this one has 3 stones in a line, which is why we call it a row. And we don't really understand why these were put here, for what reason. Perhaps it defined some kind of a boundary between different tribes, that this was their land and this was the other tribe's land here. It may be that this marks the burial place of a warrior, someone important in the community. So we're not entirely sure, but they're very interesting stones. And these stones, Pat, you were telling me, have a great story associated with them, that not many stone rows have a tale like this with them.
Yes, that's right. People like to have a story about something that they didn't fully understand or didn't know all about, and they like to think, how did this happen? And the story is that there was this Cailleach, this famous woman. She was wise, very, very wise. She was wealthy, she was prosperous, and she lived across the side of the mountain back over there. In fact, some people say that she had a house on the front of the mountain. You could see it if the trees weren't in front of us. And she had this cow, and the cow was the source of all of her wisdom and of all of her wealth, and she looked after it. It was well bedded, it was well fed, and it was well housed, and she really did look after it. But one night, a man and his son, they decided, we want this cow for ourselves. We want all of this for ourselves, the wealth and the wisdom. And they came to her house and stole in, took the cow and brought it across the side of the mountain and brought it down along this way, heading home over towards towards the lake over behind us. And when they got here, she caught up with them. And she had brought her magic wand with her. And she threatened them and she told them, I want my cow back, and they wouldn't give it back to her. They resisted every effort she made, every argument she made, and she said, look, if you don't, she said, I'm going to use my magic wand on you and you'll be sorry. And the man still wouldn't. So she turned to the boy and she hit him with the wand, and he was turned into stone. And the man still resisted and wouldn't give in. And she struck him. But she struck him so hard that she also struck the cow that was on the far side of him and turned the cow into stone as well.
So she turned her own prize cow to stone.
Exactly.
And we can see it here. This is the representation of the cow, and you can see it as if it's lying down with the head up.
Yes, she's still lying there. The cow is waiting to be turned back into, a living creature. But never. And
the Cailleach, what was the Cailleach? Was she a form of witch, or? It
was the old Irish name for an old woman, and it was used to describe all sorts of different women. We'll say some will say powerful women. She was a powerful woman. She was almost a goddess, right? And a lot of people know there used to be a poem called Misha Éire, Shiname, and Cailleach Beara. Ireland is older than the Cailleach Beara. She was old, and she had great powers. She lived for many, many years. In fact, for so long, she just got tired of living and she couldn't die. And she decided, I have to end this someday. And she went over from the house on the mountain up here, she went over the top of the mountain down to a lake called Loch Dogay, the lake of the 2 geese. It's supposed to be a bottomless lake. And she threw herself into the lake and she drowned in that lake. And
so the moral of the story, don't mess with the Cailleach. She's very powerful.
Yes.
She's possibly an old deity or an old goddess.
Yes.
And it's great to see that association here with these stories, with this monument here.
You won't get the better of the goddess.